All right, people. Anthony Albanese remains the worst prime minister in Australia's history. So as you guys know, yesterday he was humiliated by a few Muslims. The vast majority of the Muslims there welcomed him with open arms. Let me tell you something. The vast majority of Muslims hated him, but they just didn't come out and said what they were thinking, like those few Muslims who came out and said what they were thinking. Have a listen to this Channel 7 report.
Meanwhile, here in Sydney, there have been wild scenes inside the Lakemba Mosque after a visit by the Prime Minister became chaotic and threatening.
Anthony Albanese had to be hurried away after some in the crowd began hurling abuse as others tried to wrestle them away.
The Prime Minister at Lakemba Mosque for Eid, a time of celebration and charity. Anthony Albanese and the Home Affairs Minister special guests, but not everybody welcoming.
So all these other Muslims who are just sitting there, you think that they like Anthony Albanese? I'll give you evidence later on. Keep watching.
Palestinian protesters.
Respect the place you're in, please. This is a mosque.
Respect us!
The Prime Minister under fire.
You called him honourable. He's responsible for the deaths of 1 billion people.
A protester restrained by other worshippers.
Albanese, what are you doing here? How dare you come here? How dare you come here? This is our sacred place.
Before he was marched out to the front steps, met by police as anger turned on mosque leaders.
You don't represent us anymore. You don't represent us.
The PM and Minister swiftly ushered from the building by their security. And outside, more heckling.
Oh, welcome, Anthony.
The Prime Minister blaming a small few.
Yes, there were a couple of people who are heckling. Some people don't like the fact that we've outlawed extremist organisations like Hizb ut-Tahrir.
His social media, a very different take of the morning.
Despite the reaction to the Prime Minister and Home Affairs Minister's visit here this morning, the Lebanese Muslim Association says it will continue to engage with political leaders, vowing to keep its doors open.
In a time of high emotion.
I say to my community, you need to be strategic when you want to a better outcome for your cause.
Did you hear that? You need to be strategic. What do they mean by that? They mean, are you freaking stupid? What are you doing? Don't let the mask slip. We know we hate this guy. We know that this guy is a genocide enabler. We know that this guy is a puppet of Israel. That's what they think. Because as I said before, these guys will never be happy no matter what you do. Anthony Albanese has actually done a lot for this community. This is what Anthony Albanese has done for these people. Giving millions in taxpayer-funded grants to Mosque, sending millions in aid to the Middle East, recognizing Palestine to the praise of Hamas. Even Hamas praised Anthony Albanese, allowing unvetted asylum seekers from a Hamas-controlled Gaza into Australia. From memory, something like 4,000 visas were given, or at least he intended to give before our intelligence agency, Asia, jumped in and said, whoa, 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 and the opposition made some noise about that too. I actually don't know how many people came through, but the point is, Australia, in the developed industrialized world, was the only country that had taken that many refugees from Gaza, from highly politicized Gaza. Without any vetting, we had no idea who was coming through. For all we know, all of them could be Hamas operatives, secretly trying to bring back ISIS brides. Most of them were from Sydney, allowing terror supporters to mourn designated terrorists Khamenei in mosques. That also happened. And he did absolutely nothing, blaming the far right for the Bondi Islamic terrorist attack. After the Bondi terrorist attack, he did not mention Islamic or Islamist once, did not mention it. Attending Ramadan festivals during street prayer takeovers, ignoring requests for assistance from the US Donald Trump. Yes, he's just like Keir Starmer. Despite all of this, they still try to lynch Albanese at the mosque while screaming Allahu Akbar and calling him a putrid dog. What does that tell you? Now, as I said, or as that Muslim said, that you need to be strategic. We know we can never be friends with these people. You guys got to be strategic, you stupid idiots. If you start shouting, start yelling, you're going to alienate. These people are going to get sick and tired of us. And he also understands that there is an opposition to Anthony Albanese's behavior. So don't put too much pressure on him. Otherwise, he will join our side. That's what he means by strategic. Don't let the mask slip, basically. Have a look at this. Look at the Instagram page of one of the guys who was saying they killed 1 billion, 2 billion people. Why is here? That guy. Have a look at his Instagram page. He's sharing this and they're saying, absolutely shameful. They are ripping into the Lebanese Muslim Association, which, by the way, is pretty extreme. Their only crime is don't let the mask slip. We got to be strategic, okay? Don't let them know what we actually want because we got to go step by step. Look at this. This was incredibly poor. You're supposed to be the Lebanese Muslim Association. This man openly endorsed this illegal war, which is now bombing Lebanon, and intends to expand Israel's borders to the Litani River. Some clever Muslims are saying this doesn't help anyone. This creates more division and allows the far right to use this as they please. That's it. That's what they mean. They don't necessarily disagree. They're saying don't act like this. Not a single person has said, no, no, no. What more do you want, guys? Have a look at it. Every single response from every Muslim is like, don't behave like this because this will help the far right. Not because they disagree with these people. You're right to call him out for using you as a prop to cleanse his image of the disrespect and contempt he showed the entire Arab community. If the board members of Lakemba Mosque aren't munafiqs, munafiqs mean hypocrites, and hypocrites are mentioned in the Quran over and over again. That's why some Muslims try to be steadfast, because they pretend to be as straightforward as possible. Because if you believe something in your heart, but do not say it with your mouth, then Allah calls you a munafiq, i.e. a hypocrite. So that's why these Muslims are like, no, we're not afraid of anyone. We will tell you that we want Sharia in Australia. We want Sharia in the UK. Because if you don't say it, then you are a munafiq. Because that is supposed to be the belief of every single Muslim as per the Quran. What are these politicians holding over you? What makes you stand with them at the expense of your own people? Another one who's angry. So there's so many angry messages directed at the Lebanese Muslim Association. And the Lebanese Muslim Association is not necessarily disagreeing with them. The Lebanese Muslim organization, they're saying you have to be strategic. We don't necessarily disagree with you. What do they mean by strategic? Do you want to know? This is what they mean by strategic. Have a listen to this guy.
America, okay, if we don't want them to implement secularism, so what do we want them to implement? They say that America now, okay, there is not enough Muslims for them and to implement Islam. But now it is our challenge as du'at, as intellectuals, as academic, to present solutions based on Islamic values, but in the second level degree, not to tell them replace secularism with Islam. It won't work. Yeah, presenting it.
Be clever about it. Be strategic about it. Don't just go head first because we'll get pummeled. We'll get destroyed. Don't apply Sharia. But none of these Muslims will ever tell you that their goal is not to establish Sharia, whether that's the US or Canada or Australia. All of these knowledgeable people about Islam, and it seems like not even just these so-called scholars, but even the foot soldiers. You saw those foot soldiers who were yelling at Anthony Albanese, and those foot soldiers I just showed you. They know what they want. But we still have these freaking politicians like, yeah, it's all beautiful. Just a few hecklers. They're fooling you. Listen to this guy. So basically, up until this point, he's saying that we be strategic. Don't go head first. We can't just tell America, hey, install Sharia. It's not going to work. So there's a second level of persuasion.
Islam as a civilizational alternative, this needs from us a different way of addressing this generation, addressing, in fact, the whole world, trying to get into key positions where you are influencing the decisions, yani decision making. If we are
like Fatima Payman, go become a senator, go become an MP, start influencing the decision makers, kind of like what's already happened in the UK. I know you're probably getting sick and tired of me keep using the UK as an example, but I think the UK has, 28 Muslim MPs, okay? And a lot of these Muslim MPs are not associated with any political party. They're independents now because they're like, why should we be under any political party? Because the political party will have its own policy and its own mandate and will have to be answerable to them. Kind of like what happened with Fatima Payman. She became a senator through Labour, but She wasn't happy. I just told you what Anthony Albanese or the Labour Party has done for this community. She was still not happy, so she resigned from the Labour Party. And now she's acting as an independent. So come next general election, let's see how many votes she gets. But that's the goal. Put as many Muslims as possible in the positions of power and then sneakily try to bring about Sharia. That's what they all mean by be strategic, be smart.
Whatever we do, and we are not influentials, we cannot influence the how politics is running. We are not influence the decision-making processes.
See that's what he said. He said, right now we're just talking, we're just doing these things. We got to be clever, we got to be strategic about it. That's what he's saying. This guy is also a Pakistani-American Imam, and he's supposed to be the moderate one. Have a listen to him.
We know that if we were to do this from 0 to 100, the people are going to say, we're not going to have this type. Look Afghanistan, look other places. And people understand they're not going to go from 0 to 100 overnight. Suppose a Muslim party, an Islamic party, comes in and they start changing. You know what? We want to make sure there's no alcohol being sold. So can we, for the time being, because here's the point, any type of stuff we do, it's not astaghfirullah to substitute the Sharia. No, it's a program to eventually apply the Sharia.
So eventually get there, sneakily. That's what. Now that you've seen some foot soldiers, ordinary Muslims, condemning the Lebanese Muslim Association for inviting Anthony Albanese. Now listen to this guy again. Even the Channel 7 host, he didn't get it.
Yeah. Despite the reaction to the Prime Minister and Home Affairs Minister's visit here this morning, the Lebanese Muslim Association says it will continue to engage with political leaders, vowing to keep its doors open.
See, he's taking it as, they want to keep the dialogue going. They want to continue to engage. That's not what he meant. You're missing the most obvious point.
In a time of high emotion.
I say to my community, you need to be strategic when you want to a better outcome for your cause.
And he's from the Australian Federation of Islamic Councils. You need to be strategic, guys. Are we going to be strategic, or are we just going to keep getting fooled by these stupid politicians like Anthony Albanese? I just read you the list of things that he's done. Every single one of those things he should not have done. Every single one of those things. I objected to most of those things, everything that I knew of that he did. And Pauline Hanson was absolutely right. Pauline Hanson said this only a month ago. This is what she said.
You have places in Sydney, western suburbs, that Australians don't want to go there, or you're not welcomed.
And during a mini media blitz today, she honed in.
They don't want to go in certain suburbs, and I've been there myself in Lakemba.
Which suburb?
You feel unwanted, you not want to be there. Lakemba. Have you been there?
She's wrong. She's wrong. No. Welcome for all Australian to come to Lakemba.
You just humiliated Australia's Prime Minister, who's actually very pro-you. What are you going to do to someone like Pauline Hanson?
Everywhere you go, people smile at you. Everywhere you walk, people are smiling at you.
Pauline Hanson hates this country so much, I reckon she should pack her bag and leave.
Look at these people. Now it's going to be your turn, boys. We're going to have to unite the country. And I tweeted about it yesterday. I said, this is mini Afghanistan. Look what they are selling in their bookstores over there.
So this is the Islamic bookstore in Lakemba, and you go to Signs of the Day, you go to page 120, battle that will take place between Muslims and Jews at the end times. The hour will not come to pass until the Muslims fight the Jews, and the Muslims will kill them. A Jew will hide behind a rock and tree. The rock and tree will say, "O Muslim, O Abdullah, there's a Jew behind me, so come and kill him." The only exception is the Garkan tree, which is the tree of the Jews. Very interesting.
How is this allowed? How does that not fall under the new hate speech laws? Let's go through some more of those comments by Muslims. Absolutely disgusting. A whole mosque full of people, yet only one stood up. Only one stood up. Actually, 2 or 3 people stood up. That's all. They're complaining about it. They're saying more should have stood up. All of them. This ummah, meaning this Muslim community, pan-Islamic Muslim community, not just Muslim community from Pakistan. They have these dreams of establishing a global caliphate where all Muslims are working towards the same goal. This ummah needs to wake up. Why are politicians at Eid prayers? This is a sacred time, not time for them to promote themselves. Stop inviting politicians to Eid pray. It's unacceptable for police to arrest one of our own. at Eid pray? One of our own. This is a woman. The rest of the Muslim community should have walked out of there, especially after seeing the sheikh escorted out by the cops. Oh, H. Barbie? A Muslim Barbie? She's saying, why did you invite him? It's not like he invited himself. Showing kindness to your guests is part of your faith. What's sad is how we are still mostly all sheep, and the few courageous ones take the hit alone. There's more. There's more where that... And look at this. What was this, guys? We didn't even notice this. Anthony Albanese is sitting at the bottom, and this Imam is sitting at the top, as though he's some kind of a supreme leader. What kind of an insult is that? If I were Anthony Albanese, I would have said, hey, get down. I am representing the state of Australia, the people of Australia. I should be sitting up there, but if that's too much for you, you get down here. No one's got to sit above me. But our sheepy prime minister, like a frog, sitting on the floor with his shoes off. Okay, fine. You can't wear shoes inside a mosque. Okay, I would have done that. I actually wouldn't have gone there. Look at this Muslim saying, can you imagine in Ramadan, you kick out a believer, let alone a sheikh, and you keep a man who refused for 2.5 years to stop sending weapons to Israel? The hate. Anthony Albanese, despite all the ass kissing, this is what he gets. This woman, Tracy, she's a Muslim convert. Okay, I'm sensing there would be a difference. I'm really disappointed by what happened. As a Muslim, I believe in carrying myself with respect, patience, and good character at all times. No, Muslims are not supposed to be acting like that. Muslims are supposed to be saying, hey, you, we hate you, jihad, Allahu Akbar, boom. Otherwise, you're a munafiq, or being strategic, as the Muslim said. Tracy is a convert. Tracy, these are your Western values that are coming out. It's not as a Muslim, it's you as a Westerner. You believe in carrying yourself with respect, patience, and good character at all time. In Islam, we are taught to speak kindly. No, not towards your enemies. Avoid insults. No, not towards your enemies. Muhammad used to cuss people out. Muhammad used to literally abuse people. These converts, they know absolutely nothing about Islam. Look at this one. A Lebanese mosque invites a man that openly supported the bombing of Lebanon. We literally have family members right now scared out of their lives in hiding because of this illegal war which he endorsed. He's got nothing to do with it, you dumb. It's sad it took a Chinese guy in our community to deliver the message. Absolutely appalled. Eid Mubarak, everyone. Oh, what's with the laughing emoji? What do you mean illegal war? Lebanese government actually wants to get rid of Hezbollah. That's actually true. May Allah reward you, brother Mukhlis Ma, the guy who was shouting, 1 billion, 1 billion, you kill 1 billion. And then he revised the number to 1 million. Make up your mind. Look what they're quoting. He's quoting Muhammad. So one of the companions of Muhammad asked Muhammad, will that be because we are few in number? Meaning, are we going to lose in the future? Are we going to be embarrassed? Because Muhammad said that there will come a time when the world will no longer fear Muslims. So in that he says, will that be because we are few in number? Muhammad says, no, you will be many, but you will be like the foam of the sea. Allah will remove fear of you from the hearts of your enemies, i.e. you and Albanese and the Americans and the Brits and all of us, and will place wahan in your hearts. He asked, what is wahan? Wahan means the love for the world and comfort. That's what he's saying. He's saying, no, we need to be more brave. That's Islam, guys. This is an ideology that is antithetical to Western values. They're unlike Western way of life. I know then the obvious question is, what the f are you doing here? If you don't like worldly comforts, if you don't like good economy, and what are you doing here? Why did you come here? So that's the decision their parents made. They came to Australia, or they went to Britain or Western countries because they were sick and tired of living in their third world shitholes. But their kids, now they're reading these hadiths. Now they're reading the Quran in these extremist mosques. No, they're just simple mosques. They're actually telling you what it is in Islam. And they're saying, oh, we are munafiqs, i.e. hypocrites. So there's only one way this ends. And I'm telling you, it's not going to be some peaceful utopia. It won't. Islam hates the West. And by extension, Islam hates the Western way of life. Again, there's a video for everything. You don't have to listen to me. These guys are not extremist guys. These guys are just ordinary Muslims. Look at this.
It is from our religion that we have to hate them for the sake of Allah. We love what Allah loves, and on the opposite of that, We hate what Allah hates. Let's not beat around the bush. We don't love each other. We're not on the same page. We are not friends. Does that make sense? We are enemies.
Very simple. No integration, no multiculturalism, no diversity, no tolerance. I got my own deen, you got your own deen. You got your democracy, we got our own Sharia. You got your own free mixing, we got our own nikah. Own cheating within the marketplace, your own credit cards. We got our own economic system. We got our own foreign policy. We got our own deen.
They are telling you every day. They're shouting from the rooftops. They're practicing it. They are literally physically showing you. But then we still have these woke idiots. So no, it's just like any other multicultural community. I don't think there has ever been a point in history where a people was so hell-bent on destroying themselves.